What's going on, guys? It's your boy Mojados, and today I want to talk to you guys about Request Network. Now, there's been a lot of amazing, cutting edge technology coming out to space, but as you guys are aware, I've been doing some of these videos on projects that I'm really bullish on, really killing the game. So this one is definitely for Request, and you want to stay to the end because I'm going to be sharing with you guys some killer information and some crazy entries to watch out for. So first things first, I'm just going to go ahead and just share this article that I have written on my website, link to my website in the description. But I basically wrote this article in a very simple and digestible method where you can just come here, understand your little stuff. But again, we're going to be going through it anyways, so let's just jump right in, right? So Request Network has solved a prominent problem in the payment space with the use of blockchain payments. And Request Network has cut down transactions costs, created automatic auditable entries while recording accounting for transactions on the blockchain. And I forgot to mention the best part: any invoices that are business to business may detect and automatically pay taxes on that invoice. Let me read that again for you guys. I forgot to mention the best part. Any invoices that are B2B may detect and automatically pay taxes on that invoice. All invoices are complete with the click of a button. For Alice in Figure A. Fascinating. So this is Figure A. And basically, as you can tell already, Request Network is just a network where payments take place, right? And you can think of Request Network in the same way that you might think of PayPal for Business or Stripe, right? Where it's not like Venmo, like where it's super micro transaction, like customer to customer almost. But it's more like maybe for business to businesses, right? Where they're transferring 40,000 and 20,000 and so on and so forth. But of course, you can still use the Request Network for those little payments. But again, this is very advantageous because not only will people be able to go ahead and say, hey, I want to send money from person A to person B, but in those transactions, you're getting basically, automatic taxes that are basically on the invoice. And on top of that, you get auditable entries, and it basically has a accounting platform, in the network, right? So if you go to the Request website, you'll be able to see that, there is basically a dashboard for the Request users, right? And they have 3 products, which we're going to go over later on. But again, cutting edge technology. And then moving on over here, what is Request? I know I just highlighted, but we're going to go through everything step by step so we can get a full understanding of what this actual network is. And again, Request Network is an easy peer-to-peer payment system and is utilized for business invoices. That's again one of the use cases, but again, it's the main use case that we're seeing right now. Request Network makes it easy to get paid in crypto. I'm sure we've all heard this time and time again, but what makes it special is that it is, because of the blockchain, right, guys? PayPal for businesses, it doesn't have that real-time accounting. It does not have the auditing on the blockchain, and it doesn't even have automatic taxes in every single payment. So Request Network is already killing and destroying the current, B2B method for payments. And so it's just, I don't know what to say, guys. If you guys are in the payment industry, if you guys understand it just a little bit, guys, this is crazy. This is just crazy because, you're getting so much innovation out of this type of network. And it's super easy to use as well. And, even using PayPal, it's expensive to utilize. As a business, not only is PayPal expensive, but at the end of the year, you also have to pay auditors and accountants to ensure bookkeeping is properly done. Meanwhile, Request has made this all simple, and that's why thousands of companies use the service. And the sweetest part is every month, the activity on Request Network reaches a new all-time high. So, guys, again, people who understand the payment network understand that It costs money for auditors. It costs money for accountants. But all this is done for you automatically on the request network. And again, for those that are in the business of payments, in the business of sending money frequently, they're already on this chain, right? Especially crypto companies, because guys, this chart goes all the way to 2018. Look at this. Every single month, or every single, what is it, by month? Yes, but this is by every 2 months, it looks like. Yeah. You'll see that, we have been essentially making new all-time highs every single month. Now, obviously, this chart stops at, May, but I'm sure that it's probably hit a new high. This is stopped at this moment. I don't have the record for it now. But again, seeing this kind of growth is basically explosive and exponential. And it just shows and proves that the theory is correct, that this network does work, and that there is a real use case. And again, a driver for this to keep growing, essentially, right? And a little bit about the background. The project is based out of Berlin and founded by two people who have a good background with the payment industry, and they also understand modern finance, and again, they understand the crypto world as well. The CEO stated in an interview that money transfers is an industry that exists because the banking system is inefficient. People who are transferring money, they just want to pay an invoice in a different currency. So again, this is the reason why Request was born, because again, these founders believe that they can make a more secure, private, and simple to use platform. And they have done it. They have been absolutely killing it because they have great backgrounds and a strong understanding of how all this essentially works. And time to talk a little bit about the funding and the collaboration. Request has been through seed funding rounds with a few different firms here for $120,000 in March 2017. Later, Request held an ICO in 2017 that raised $33 million, selling half of the REQ token supply. Request has gained the trust of 1,000 companies like Maker, Aave, Sandbox, and more that utilize the network for making payments. Request Network has also shared its roadmap publicly, which hints the integration of QuickBooks in the future. Let me read that again for you guys. Request Network has also shared its roadmap publicly, which hints at the integration of QuickBooks. Let me pull this up for you guys real quick, because over here, guys, this is basically sharing that QuickBooks will eventually be integrated. Guys, if you guys don't already know, like my accountant friends, they are always using QuickBooks. And for Request Network to get integrated in such a, such a utilized platform by accountants is just a sign that we're headed towards a direction where payments get disrupted. Now, again, there's going to be a lot of winners in this space, right? And right now, I feel like Request has a great grasp on that business to business, liquidity. And they're absolutely killing it because, they're literally working. I think, more details will be dropped about QuickBooks and how they're going to be integrated. But this is an amazing, development that's going to take place soon. So again, we're going to watch that. And again, 1,000+ companies have been using Request Network because they understand the value that it provides, right? And this is the photo, actually, I had it here. Whoops. But again, it's nice to see. Moving on to the tokenomics of the section. Request Network has a total of 1 billion tokens with a circulating supply of 998 million. And 50% were sold during its ICO, 20% were sold to early backers and contributors. 15% of the tokens were retained for development, and the remaining 15% was for the team and advisors. As for the fund allocation, there is a research, marketing, partnerships, operation, legal, business, and development side that will build out the Request Network. And the network has a deflationary mechanism, and so far 153,000 tokens have been burned. So basically, guys, as we can see right now, most of the tokens exist. So we don't have to worry about an unlock or anything crazy like that because, again, most of the tokens exist. And, we're just watching for, what is to come next for this Request Network. I did see here that I think they hinted at the tokenomics, but the details haven't been fully revealed. I don't know what that entails. But for now, we we see that all the tokens essentially exist already. So this is, amazing, especially if you're looking at it from maybe getting an entry now, because guys, you want to get into tokens where all of the actual supply is released already, and there's not no unlocks that are unexpected, and there's not no, any funny business essentially is what I'm talking about. So all in all, this looks really good from a fundamental side, and also from just a utility side as well, because you guys can see here there's a burn mechanism as well. It's healthy for the network, and this is again from the actual Explorer that I think that maybe a REQ developer has created. So yeah, this is from the Request Foundation, I think this is, or it's not affiliated with the Request Network, but it does a good job tracking the information here. So this is again nice to see. So yeah, I'm gonna close that. Moving on to governance and staking. So there's not that many options for staking right now, because as you guys are aware, most of the tokens are essentially released. I'm sure the staking was higher before, but right now you can't even get 1% APR, which is quite hilarious, because I wouldn't even consider that 1% because there's nothing to stake. And the main purpose of like the REQ token right now is mainly for transaction fees, governance, staking, and also the request token gives you discounts for the request platform. So we're going to touch base on that again in a moment. But when you're using the actual network to send money, you're going to have some request tokens to essentially confirm any transactions. So that's nice to see. And this is great from a governance standpoint and from a utility standpoint. Unfortunately, the staking rewards are not as high, but it looks like, maybe before it was, but for now, we don't really see that much options for staking. And going to the last two sections, as I mentioned before, there are products for REQ, request, and, I just mentioned right now that you can get, discounts, and this is what I'm talking about, because request, let me see here, request finance is basically an area like business for PayPal users. So, you get a special dashboard. In that dashboard, you can get access to that automatic, accounting, the automatic auditing, and the taxes on the invoices, or, like all that stuff. Basically, it's on this request finance app, and you have to have, a certain tokens to be qualified for the discounts. So it's again one of the best like drivers for this actual network. And then you also have request create, where users can go in a matter of a minute and go and use the application, and then users can simply connect their wallets where they can customize where they can receive funds. So this is basically where you would go here, and if you want to transact with somebody, you can essentially create an invoice. So this is really cool, because a lot of times people lose money in transactions. A lot of times people send the money to the wrong address. But if you have somebody that knows what they're doing, they come to request create, they create the request for you, and all you're essentially doing is having money in the wallet and approving it, and it automatically does it for you, because all the address information is there. So it's basically hard to essentially make a loss for that error, right? And I can see this being utilized a lot for businesses, right? Because they would save the wallets if the transactions are successful, and just come back and click, that wallet address, right? So again, another great use case. Moving on to the last product is REQ, right? That's a funny name. And it's for e-commerce businesses. It's in a beta phase right now, and it's a plugin for e-shops. And again, it's free, and it's another use case that's driving demand for the REQ token. And it's awesome. I mean, what else can you ask for? This is the type of stuff that you want to see build out for the future of a network like this, are surrounded by payments. So again, you have this trio here. Request finance is basically the main thing that I believe that is being used, where it's for businesses like, PayPal for Business, or maybe even Stripe, where businesses send a bulk or big transactions here. Everything, again, is automatic. You have automatic accounting, you have auditing, and again, you have taxes deducted in invoices. It's a game changer. It really is. And then you have Request Create, where you can easily send money or request money on addresses, and then on the other side of that person receiving the funds, they just click approve. And it's basically just like magic. And then WooREQ is a plugin for these types of applications, again, to put on your shop and basically accept cryptocurrencies of your choice. And it's absolutely free, which is, again, another reason for people to use it. So those are the products. And going into the last section for the technical analysis, guys, now I want you guys to keep in mind, I wrote this in, let's see the date, June 13th, so almost a month ago. And guys, I'm going to tell you guys that I'm a sniper, okay? I don't mean to toot my own horn here, but I'm a sniper because, as you guys can see here, I marked this 7-8 region, right? I said this is the area that we're probably going to touch next, and we're probably going to hold. And I kind of talk about it here a little bit. And of course, because this is written on the 13th of last month, I cannot update it every single moment, because I just write the article. I just put the information out there so I can have a record of it. And as you can see, what happens? We come to the same region, right? Maybe we wick a little bit lower, but guess what? We have a run up of a 2x following it. So guys, I'm telling you, like, something that has this kind of support, right? Bouncing off of support so fast, right? People are waiting for the dips almost. That's how fast these bounces happen. And, it just makes me so bullish on what's to come for the Request network. But I wouldn't be surprised if we come back to these lows again. I wouldn't be surprised if we even come back to this wick region. But all in all, what you do need to know is that Request is a great network. It's a game-changing platform for businesses, and something to keep that on your radar. I personally have exposure to this, and that is not financial advice. None of this is financial advice. This is purely for entertainment purposes. And if you guys are not able to tell already, I'm in love with the project. It's one of the top 5 projects that I'm super bullish on, and what I think is going to essentially keep growing. And I outlined here for a few reasons. And again, it's for the simple reasons of making transactions easy, and businesses and governments and just even peer-to-peer transactions are going to be simpler through the Request function. Again, making it easy for auditing, making it easy for accounting. Everything is automated as well, and deducing taxes on certain invoices. And realistically, guys, I can go on and on with this, the advantages of using the Request network. And I don't even have to speak too much about, how great this network is, because again, the transactions speak for themselves, right? When you see such growth, right, such demand, such utility basically on this network, it's just there's nothing really to say here except it's only going to be a matter of time where this value of this network just keeps going, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a double-digit request one day, REQ. So we'll see what happens. Again, none of this is financial advice, but it's definitely something to monitor, because things can change. For example, right, we saw that Request Tokenomics 2.0. I don't know what that exactly entails. Until this is open, I can read more. I can definitely be more interested, and maybe I'll do even an update video. But I need you guys to like and sub if you have not already. Leave a comment on your thoughts on where you think Request Network is going to in terms of price. And I appreciate you guys for sticking to the end. And I want to leave it off with my favorite term, hodl, hodl, hodl. Peace.